Hi everybody, welcome to this presentation about AI in e-commerce. So today we will be talking a lot about AI, what it is, its applications in business, why we are able to apply something as rudimentary as a text and enhancement to completion algorithm in business, how AI can be used in e-commerce, what are the available technologies, and what are the challenges we are going to face. We will also be going through a simple case study of an e-commerce company adapting AI in its business, and we will also be talking about the long-term future. This presentation is supposed to be a simple meetup, and that is why anybody can interject at any time if they have any questions. But please be mindful of the course time. Let us begin. So, over the past 50 years, it's not the first time that AI has stolen the limelight, and uh, there have been so many different times in which AI was supposed to be the big technology of the day. It was supposed to be the thing which was about to disrupt business. But every time that AI started something, people used to uh, flock to it and get disappointed because the results weren't there yet. Even as of 2020, when COVID, the virus, and the lockdowns began, the GPT-3 algorithm, there was a huge hype in the market about how AI is going to revolutionize everything. But the author himself, me, I tried the algorithms. I did the fine tuning of the GPT-3. At that time, it was not an API, it was a downloadable overall model. But we were all just met with disappointment. But today, in 2023, 2024, the technology is finally here. It's at a step, at a level where it is the technology today that is shaping our future, and it is going to be very disruptive for all business segments over the next 10 years, 20 years. Consider yourself standing at the dot-com revolution in 1999. That is where we are with AI today. Over the next 20 years, you will see everything get changed just because of this one simple technology. So now let's talk about what technology actually is. In very simple terms, AI, the entire technology, is just based on mathematical matrix multiplication. Matrix multiplication is something which you might have learned in school, a 2 by 2 or a 3 by 2 or 3 by 3 or a 3 by 4 matrix, when you were able to multiply matrices and stuff. The fundamental discovery behind all of that is that a matrix, or the ones and zeros and the numbers in a matrix, they can carry an information in terms of a pattern. And when we create a matrix using a lot of data, what we are doing is, in simple terms, what it is called in the market is to train an AI. But what you're actually physically doing is just to create a large matrix. By going through a lot of data, what we are doing is we're taking the patterns that AI can discover out of that data and emulating those patterns in knowledge, imbibing all of that in a matrix. So let's say we take a huge data set, let's say all the books I've written, all the public domain books, all the Wikipedia entries. We run them through an algorithm. We train a huge, large matrix of, let's say, millions and billions of parameters. What we would be able to do is to extract information about words, sentences, how sentences are structured, how thoughts are structured in terms of that matrix. So, for example, GPT-3, the algorithm, was based on uh, a matrix which was around 175 billion parameters. So, 3 by 3 matrix could be thought of as having 9 parameters or a 9 level of degree of level. So, to train that algorithm, you should have to pass a lot of data through it. So GPT-3 has been trained using something of the order of 45 terabytes of data. Megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes. So it's a terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes. So it's like 45,000 gigabytes, and 1 gigabyte could easily have 5 or 6 or 10 books of just text. So when we pass all of these thousands and millions of books through a mathematical algorithm which just extracts the data and the patterns of those books, sentences, numbers, how thoughts are structured, how words are associated and stuff, what we're able to do is we're able to extract this, and then we're using a trained model or a fully formed matrix by multiplying a matrix with something which is your input, which in other layman terms could be the prompt that you're giving to the AI. You're able to get something out which resembles the answer of the matrix. So the prompt that you give, when acted upon the huge knowledge data set of the matrix, would result in the one word, next word, or the next words, or a paragraph, or certain steps like that. And using those steps, step by step, in a for loop, we are able to go from something as innocuous as a autocomplete kind of structure to something which is able to decide where it wants to go and choose between alternatives. Now, I want to stress this point that since the last 40-50 years of the IT revolution, till now we've had fixed bits, fixed codes programming, fixed systems which were created by humans, and those programs were supposed to take a fixed set of execution parameters and fixed results. But when uh, in the traditional IT and software programs, you could imbibe what the execution would be. So it was the human deciding how to structure the program, what to do. The program could not execute any decisions by itself. But when we structure AI like this, the humongous difference between the IT era software and the software which is now starting to emerge is that it can take intelligent decisions by itself based on the parameters that you are feeding it in real time. So for example, you could give it a picture of a cat and you could ask it whether it is a cat or a dog, and it would be able to take a decision, and based on a decision it could give you a prompt that this is a dog or a cat. Similarly, when it is not just a predictor of a word or a sentence or thing, so what people typically think of as ChatGPT, which is like an autocomplete kind of algorithm, very simply you can extend it into the business scenarios, and you could come up with something which can take business decisions given a set of business problems and the environment and the logical framework. So I just want to stress again that what The biggest difference between what has been the IT revolution, the software revolution, powering all the technology that we have till date, was fixed processing and fixed execution, the code of which was written by humans and not decided upon by itself. But now with AI, it has the ability to take decisions based on real time parameters and change the answers. So, this is a humongous development and one for which we will be seeing the repercussions for the next many decades to come. If anybody has any questions about this fundamentals of AI, uh, we can uh, we can talk about it. If anybody has any questions. Okay, no problem. Let's go. Let's get ahead. So till now, we've seen that IT revolution has changed a lot in the business. If you compare a business in the 1990s era versus the way it is done today, communication is faster, decisions are faster, it is more transparent, the execution of the stuff is faster, the accuracy of the work has been much better. But these are the factors that AI can enhance very highly, because as software, it is already optimized for execution, accuracy, speed, and profitability. The only thing that was missing in software was the ability to act on itself and act intelligently in a way that it could take decisions. But now, with that thing in AI, the missing piece, we are all set for a huge amount of the disruption in the way going forward. So let's talk about we just talked about how it can affect business, but let's talk about the e-commerce business model per se. The e-commerce business model by itself is designed specifically to automate away the most of the human interaction and the inefficiencies associated with human touch. So when we give a mobile app or e-commerce website to people, what they're doing is they're able to work 24/7 using the app, choose whatever they want to without talking, without seeing. They're able to get all the data at their fingertips, take decisions, and by removing those costs as well, we're able to optimize the costs and the pricing of the products. We're able to give a advanced search and give a huge variety of products for which the parameters may be multiple. So the user gets optimized out of human touch, and that is the entire business model of e-commerce versus what something which used to exist as a brick and mortar 20-30 years ago. So if you look at the e-commerce business model today, there are three parts. The customer has something by which it can order easily. Once the order is received, the e-commerce business by itself has to do the logistics of getting this product into the hands of the consumer. And the third is, once the thing is delivered, maybe it needs to be replaced, maybe it is not working, it needs to be returned, or maybe the customer needs some help in getting this stuff to work properly. So that is the service part. As of 2024, what the entire e-commerce business model, if you look at, the orders are taken through a website or an app. Usually for a small retailer, it would be a Shopify kind of structure or a WordPress kind of website. Not just the website, the traffic that we try to get onto the website is all digital, using a mobile app with notifications, or through digital marketing through Facebook or social media, or through Google Ads, or through organic search. But I just want to stress this part again, that the entire idea has been to remove the customer interaction in the ordering process. So this is the part of ordering. When we come about logistics, in most of the small businesses out there, the logistics is manual. You get an order, you pack the stuff either yourself or you have somebody else to pack it for you, and then you send it via FedEx or some other shipping partner. If you're a very large site like Amazon or Flipkart, you would have probably seen automated warehouses. So it's quite a nice thing to see if you've not seen it yet. Let me just try to show it to you. So a warehouse like that for Amazon, you would be able to see something which has a huge amount of inventory stacked over a large field like multiple football fields, and you would easily be able to see robots just taking the stuff here and there. And it used to be people in the old days, but now this cart moving mechanism and everything has gotten replaced, and bots have started to come up by themselves. They're getting the order and they're shipping and moving the stuff around inside a warehouse. So after the logistics, what we see is that most of these small companies would still be using manual work. It's not something in which there is no human interaction. A lot of it is still manual. Even in large companies where they're using robots to move the stuff around, when the stuff needs to be actually picked up and seen, if it is something very critical, there's a human, and robots do the work of just moving the stuff around and bringing it to the convenience of the human to be able to pick the stuff up. In actually shipping, the work is typically done via third party partners, but the digitization there is again that those third party partners would get orders communicated with them via digital APIs. And in, let's say you've now gotten your stuff as a consumer, how is it that you can talk to the e-commerce site whether if the stuff is not working properly or if you require any service for it? In small sites, typically it is a combination of a telecaller, that could be a human or it could be a bot, and typically companies also use chatbots at their websites or their apps. If you're a large website like a Flipkart or an Amazon, these large sites would typically also have voice bots over the app where you can just uh, talk to the app by itself that there's a problem with the app, and it would be able to understand your language and type it over in the chat. So it is just a uh, simplification of your voice as getting into the chat, but still it is the automation inside this the e-commerce thing. So the technologies what we're going to look at in AI and e-commerce typically are chatbots, or something by which it's a virtual calling system where you're calling the bot, and it is understanding, it is talking as if it's a natural person, but it's actually a bot behind it. Or you could be going to a very simple automated ticketing system. Why is the customer service of most importance? We believe that over the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, the lowest hanging fruit for bringing AI in e-commerce will be in automating the customer service, and automating it to the point that you will only have a very few amount of customer service people inside the companies. Why is that? Because look at the business process that a customer rep actually follows. What a customer rep typically does is talk to clients, identifies the issue, it provides a standard solution out of the thousands of problems that can come up. This is why they typically work in front of a computer which has a software. They typically type what the problem is coming and they get those solutions, and after honing in on what exactly the issue is, the software shows them what is the standard solution. The variety of the issues could be running in hundreds and thousands. A typical customer service rep might not be knowing all of them by heart. So that is why they rely on software to be able to hone in on the issue. And by the end of the day, the biggest work that a telecaller does is to listen with empathy and just try to help the customer, make sure he's heard, make sure he's understanding the brand values and everything. So it is to listen with empathy. When you replace a customer service rep with a chatbot, not like a robot, but a software version of a robot which is taking the calls, you get a lot of operational advantages. A bot like that can talk to clients 24/7, doesn't need rest. It can identify issues easily. It can act on the solution as well. Whereas the customer service rep would have to click or send something to the manager for approval or something like that. The AI might have integrated APIs and it can just call the function and make the solution happen. At the end of the day, a chatbot doesn't get emotionally drained. At the end of the day, it doesn't get tired. So it can listen all day long with empathy. And the biggest advantage for businesses is that a chatbot can listen to 100 clients at the same time. You don't need 100 different people. So apart from these very simple things which you can see from the point of view of the caller or the customer, from the point of view of the business as well, you can see that there is a enhanced experience where you're not standing in queue for some time and waiting for some rep to get free and to be able to take a call. The rep is available 24/7 in terms of AI. Human reps might not be able to do that. And then we talk about personalization of customer interactions, which is something which is what we'll discuss in the second part of this presentation, which is a whole new game, which how you gamify a customer. So till now what we've seen is that there are three parts of the e-commerce business model. All of them are automated to some extent. Ordering is almost 100% automated. Logistics is somewhat automated, mostly physical stuff. And service is typically not automated 100% yet. But with AI, the biggest impetus is on automating the service in the next 2, 3, 4 years first. Once and there are very clear advantages to automating customer service. A human might not be able to do 100 clients at the same time. It might not be able to empathize with everybody and might not be able to act. Plus, there's a huge amount of cost savings for the customer, for the business, and from the customer side, it's a very enhanced experience in terms of you don't have to wait. It's 24/7 available, and you get a much better experience. There are challenges and considerations as well. One of the biggest challenges that you would face using AI is to have your own data privacy. You don't want to be sending your data on to ChatGPT or OpenAI or some other model. You want to keep the data in-house. So that is one big challenge. But the biggest challenge for that is potential reduction in human employment, at least for the customer service department. So I just wanted to talk about the case study of one small e-commerce site, a small and medium according to the US. This is the case study of somebody, a company in India, which it's a startup in e-commerce, and these guys are gloating that they've had to lay off 90% of their support team, and they replaced it with just one AI chat. And what they're saying is that the time to first response went to instant, no waiting for a minute and a half. The resolution time reduced from hours to minutes, and the customer support costs reduced by 85%. So when the CEO of a 1,000 people e-commerce company gloats like this in public, uh, others listen. So it might not be a single case of one e-commerce company just replacing their own system. Slowly, the other companies as well would listen and follow in the footsteps of uh, using AI chatbots, at least to replace their customer support. So the future of e-commerce customer service looks much more automated based on AI, and we've shown you the reasons why that is why that looks very likely. So that is the lowest hanging fruit. But I'm here to talk about something which you might not be uh, thinking about or associating this, and it's definitely not in the uh, public visibility a lot, which is that what will happen over the long term. See, AI as a technology is something which is great at recognizing patterns, and we all know how nicely it can play a video game. So consider AI as playing a video game where it is optimized to score uh, a victory or a plus point in the game when an order comes. So we could think of AI as uh, for for e-commerce we could have a game which is optimized towards getting the orders and optimizing the lifetime value of a customer. That is the end score of the game. Looking at that perspective from somebody who codes AI programs and everything. Now let's see the three parts of the e-commerce business model in a new light. The ordering part is something that we've seen, but after this customer service lowest hanging fruit, the next step for that will be that today we have a simple mass market e-commerce site like Shopify. You go to a Shopify, you fill out a form, you get a website, you go a no-code thing. But then with AI, this will easily change to a no-code AI bot. So when you in 3 years, I'm sure there will be some kind of Shopify or downloadable stuff that you can go to an AI bot. You can tell it that you are looking to create a website in such and such thing, and it will be instantly able to create a website for you. Not just that, not just creating of the website, but then what we're trying to do is that the AI has a real-time piece of intelligence embedded in the website, and it is able to control every pixel and data point of it in real time. So for example, for you as the admin, you can talk to it as just like you talk to ChatGPT today. But on the front end, it looks just like a e-commerce website for a consumer. But what it is doing is that it is able to change every pixel point, colors of the products, pricing, names, optimize everything for SEO, optimize everything, personalized for a client. All of that is controlled via AI. So today when you go to a website, the technology that has existed for something like Shopify or something like WordPress or Magento or any other e-commerce platform is that you have fixed products and fixed things, and they're shown the exact same products irrespective of who the client is. But with AI, that can very easily change. So the technical requirement behind all of this is that you have an intelligent website that controls every pixel of the site in order to have a very personalized experience for the user. Now, in the garb of just giving a personalized experience, we can have something as a next step, which is to have a personalized experience, you need to understand what the customer preferences are. So when you go to an Amazon today and you order something, Amazon is very, in simple words, it's spying on you. It's able to take all your customer preferences, it's able to store what all you scrolled through and then where you clicked exactly. What were the exact words, and it is able to do a real time A2B test on you and your click through rate for certain clients, for certain products, for certain words, for certain price range. It's able, so you are a tinkering game for it. So when you go to an Amazon or a site like that, what it's trying to do is to have a detailed data gathering program. So not just that it's changing every pixel in the site, but it is also uh, storing every click, every glance, every change of the word. It's doing a real-time A to B test on customer choices and able to predict what you will do. So the technical requirement for that is that a site which stores every user interaction so it can analyze it later. And the third thing is, when we have the ability to personalize or change the pixels of the game, when we have the ability to understand the user feedback, then we have the ability to become a game engine that can game with you. And the game is to get an order. That's the score for the AI. So this is where we right now think where AI in e-commerce is leading to. It is going to lead in 4 or 5 years to bots which have the ability to control an AI, control an e-commerce site to the extent that it is able to gamify a client. It is able to predict what a client will buy based on what notification it should be sent, what kind of products he sees, and then what kind of words, what kind of pixels should the user see. And it's able to gamify whether the order received at the end will contain one of those products that it intended to do it or not. Ultimately, we believe that AI will become so good at gamifying that it will be not just able to predict, but it will be able to game users into buying what it wants us to buy. So we've reached the conclusion. I'll open the discussion to the floor, but I just want to have a quick recap covered in this of the key points we've covered right now. See, we started with what AI is. In layman terms, it's just a maths matrix. It's just a mathematical construct. It's nothing big. But what we're doing is, when we're using this mathematical construct, we're able to take steps and take decisions. These decisions are the missing ingredient to what software needed to replace humans, or to replace you as an economic decision maker, as a software manager, as a soft manager inside a software which is doing the work, because it is already excellent in execution, accuracy, speed, and profitability. Once we give it the power to decide for itself, it has some mandates to follow as to optimize the profitability. Just like a game, it has the understanding of what it can do, what it cannot do, what it should do, what it is going towards. And specifically the e-commerce business model is something which is already very ripe, very much evolved, just for automation of the entire steps. We had 3 steps. The first step is complete 100% digital. The second still requires some automation, but then service is the thing which is going to get replaced by AI in the next 2 years. And there are very obvious advantages. It's not just the operational benefits that you get, but it is actually also that the customer would like the changes, because it is leading to a better and faster outcome. Obviously, there are challenges. One needs to think how to do it, but then the industry has started to do it, and it's even started to gloat how happy they are by firing 100 people in customer service and putting their e-commerce site onto a complete automation for customer service. But once customer service is done, what will happen over the long term is that the AI software will take up, just like we have a Shopify today. It will be able to spawn an entire e-commerce website on command, but it will not be a dumb site. It will be a very intelligent web store, and it will act like a spy just to help you. It will have the ability to personalize every pixel, and based on those of two things, we believe that the entire system will become gamified enough that it will be able to predict and even force you to choose what it wants to help you choose, which it thinks will help you will help it optimize the long term value. So it wants to keep you happy. It wants to show you the highest uh, at the highest visibility the scarf that you would have bought with an order that you gave 3 days back. So it would show you those products for maximum ordering capacity, for maximum customer satisfaction, because those are one of the thousands of parameters or billions of parameters which are running behind. Those parameters are not coded, but they get imbibed in the pattern somehow. So this is where we think the future of AI is going to be for e-commerce. So I'd open the floor for questions if there are any. Okay, guys, thanks. It was a very nice presentation. Nice talking to you guys. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us. We represent a company called Automation Agency India. This is our brand name. This is our brand logo. And if you search for AI automation or AI e-commerce, you can easily be able to find us. So thanks a lot. See you next time.